I knew we wanted to do the story of John Dillinger, but we had to find the band to do it. I didn't want to tell the story of, Dillinger the bank robber. I wanted to tell the story of Dillinger the man. And Ryanhood tells those stories in their songs, kind of the authenticity of people and their music.
Ashley from Artifact approached Ryan Green and myself, Ryanhood, about doing a project, which she had a name for already, called Surrounding Dillinger. And she said, come in, meet with us. I have an idea, which is to tell the life story of John Dillinger through dance and your music. And so she described the whole thing to us. And I think Ryan and I both thought, that sounds like an amazing idea, and we are not the right band for that. We're very earnest and sort of buttoned up and kind of like sweetheart, acoustic folk musicians, and this is a gangster that we're talking about. So we said, we love the idea, but you have the wrong band. And she goes, I've thought about this for a really long time. I absolutely have the right band. I know that you guys are the right fit for this. Why he's such a lovable character. If we show the poverty and how he sweeps her out of it, he's getting some money out of these crimes.
When I wanted to meet with Ryanhood, Cameron, would come and meet with me. And then the next thing I knew, he had typed out this huge script. I mean, I was just gonna maybe write down a brief timeline just because I'm so busy, and it took a ton of work to do what he did.
I asked her if she'd be okay with me jumping on board as more of a story collaborator, and she said, absolutely, I'd love for you to do that. So then the challenge became taking his life story, the events of his history, and pairing them up with basic parts of storytelling that all humans intuitively understand. And I thought that was really important so that a dance audience would be able to just feel their way through a story, without the words.
The script is what really got me going, and inspired me to be able to use that as a roadmap for the choreography. It really helped. It helped a lot.
Then it's looking through our song catalog and saying, which songs do we have lyrically or musically that tell who he was at that part of his story? Where there were holes, we wrote a couple of new songs, and then we reached out to some other local artists like Carlos Arzate and the Kind Souls, The Great Collision, and Sweet Ghost to help us fill every part of the story that we needed to fill. And I think that we have something pretty incredible.
Matched Ryanhood's music to the script, and then I was able to just do my job as a choreographer. He made my job really easy. And then when Cameron came into the studio, he comes to essentially every rehearsal. That's pretty unique. That's a lot of time, but he makes the time, and when he's there, he has a very calm presence, but he has his opinions, and his opinions are right on.
As she walks off and you start to walk back, I would kind of drop the head slightly, and then as I turn, I would look towards the audience, maybe like up this way, and then I would look into myself. So
there's a unique system of trying to get movement and a narrative through a body. You can't do it all at once. Really what we're doing is the body is telling the story, but if I try to get the dancer to do that in one movement, it's too much. It's too much on the mind. So what we have to do is break it down.
What is the conversation going on between these two characters? You see that store over there, we're gonna go rob that store. You're gonna shoot it up, and we're gonna get rich. Okay, that's a conversation. Now, how are we going to put movement to that?
Don't pour water on me.
I just became so interested in that I kept coming to rehearsals to watch them do that, because I understood what has to get communicated about the character in each story, and so I was sort of there being like, oh, I don't know, John Dillinger wouldn't do that at this period of time. And they sort of took that feedback, and I watched them use their bodies and model that to their dancers.
As a dancer, you want to initially just start moving, and so to be able to talk about what's happening in a scene, be able to really give a clear direction of like your goal in a section is it's kind of a blessing, just because normally a choreographer wouldn't give you all that information.
There's a lot of different characters bringing, each person is responsible for their own set of gestures and what they're going to do. Ashley doesn't have to go through each moment and give things to us. We as artists, similar that we as directors are equal, the company as an ensemble are all equals. And so even though there are some principal roles in this production, each person has to really hold their weight.
Your movement really isn't like about being a dancer or making a shape to say, but to really express an emotion or an idea that you've come up with.
I know that I want them to end in the middle, pulling down the guns like from the air and in a pool of light. This goes dissolved, and then that really, so it changes, right? So the guitar solo, there's like a light change there.
Yeah.
So that's how I kind of envision the dissolve into that. What do you think about that?
Yeah. What's been incredible to watch is how she generates choreography on the fly. The song is playing, she closes her eyes, she starts moving, and then she gets her dancers to follow. And that strikes me as a very vulnerable thing to do, because anytime you create in front of people, it could work, it could not work, right? And so I've seen her go, great, dancers, show me that, and then go, no, that doesn't work at all. Bad idea, next idea.
Like sometimes I think we think, oh, well, I can't relate to any of this. It doesn't, you plug in anything that works for you, anything at all. And movement, I think, always evokes some sort of idea, or it provokes in us as dancers receiving it. So I think just let that through.
Yeah.
Like try to fill in the blanks, like ask yourself the questions about each movement. I'm reaching, well, for what? That we've learned over the years has been the most fulfilling type of collaboration, is when you're really working together from the start, and not kind of working, in closets and then trying to get something cohesive at the end. So
I had no idea that Cameron would be so invested. I really didn't. As soon as I felt that dedication from him, it really gave me a huge vote of confidence in the decision to use Ryanhood.
I'd sit in this gray chair in the studio and largely just watch. There are times where I think, by the end of this scene, we have to know this, and this about this character, and we have to understand why he's going to do what he's going to do in the next scene. So that isn't happening yet. Can you show me more of that? And then you'll see Ashley sort of close her eyes and go, yeah, okay, dancers, here's what I need, and then go to work.
it's really great. His enthusiasm is great. We certainly feel that, and that gets us excited.
Having someone so passionate about a character really inspires me, and it helps me to bring out more than I can think of on my own for a character.
I like Cameron's input because it's actually he doesn't have the dancer instinct, and so oftentimes his body language is more it's actually more suited to human body language.
And then when they come on, he's
with them, right?
with
He's
them.
doing this whole, okay.
Yeah.
Yep. So just by himself, just almost in his walking.
Yeah, no
right?
dance, just a walking transformation.
Okay. And all in the space of that, like reintro.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da.
And I'll have him back up like this, so the audience sees him down center.
Right.
He's changing, he's getting more angry, and then they come in and they go,
And he leads them, right?
he leads them in the
Yeah.
corner, right?
I love watching them work together. It's great.
When it's really organic, it's really fun to watch because Cameron will just go off on an idea, and then all of a sudden Ashley's brain, you just like see the light bulb pop on, and she's like, oh my God, I have this idea now, and then it just like, it constantly like is feeding each other.
My favorite sort of lifelong quote is from Howard Thurman, and he says, don't ask yourself what the world needs. Ask yourself what makes you come alive, and go do that, because what the world needs are more people who have come alive. So anytime we get ignited about something, I think it's important to pay attention to that, and this project has done that for me, so I would absolutely follow this path and see where it leads.